Okay, fine. Everybody in the comments wants me to talk about Funny Lady, so fine, let's talk about Funny Lady. The problem with Funny Lady is that this is not a comedy. This is marketed as a comedy, but it is not a comedy. The Oscars likes to do this where they pat themselves on the back for like nominating, like embracing a comedy. Because just like horror, they do not tend to award anything that isn't a drama. Remember in 2010, whenever The Kids Are All Right was all over the Oscars, that Paloma Diamond wasn't nominated this year because she was in Brazil doing theater with Katara Ravache. Kids Are All Right with Annette Bening and Julianne Moore like was all over the Oscars, and they were talking about how this was like just this amazing comedy, and all of the critics were just like laughing their faces off. But like, this was not funny. This was wildly depressing. Same thing is true with Funny Lady. This is not a comedy. This is not funny in any way. All forgetting that at the beginning of the movie, she does that like big wake up scene. And then we find out at the end that that was her waking up from the coma after she got into that car crash where she killed her nephew. An unrepentant alcoholic. She's a terrible person. She gets in this horrible car crash. It kills her nephew. It upends a whole bunch of people's lives. Her sister kicks her out of her house and she goes to like work in that grocery store. I don't care what you all say about what happens in that grocery store. It is not funny. It isn't. That is the most bleak, sardonic, like awful, like 45 minutes of content I think I've ever seen in a film. These people are mean. Yeah, I get that some people call this like a treatise on grief. It's not. The entire reason it's called Funny Lady is because she keeps ruining people's lives and laughing about it. She doesn't actually face any real consequences for her action. Do you remember the final scene where the grocery store is burning down because she lit that kerosene lantern in the back and like left it next to a whole bunch of rags for reasons that I still do not understand? She's just standing outside drinking that like Seagram's wine cooler and just like laughing as the grocery store owner is freaking out. I don't understand why people laughed at that scene. He's losing his entire livelihood. People died. I do not genuinely believe that she cared about her nephew in the slightest. However, because of all that, I do think that the big snub of the year is the fact that Paloma Diamond didn't get nominated for Best Director. Honestly, her directing and her producing work is far better than any acting she's ever done. Now, do not come for me, Paloma stans, because you all liked her whenever she played the wolf in that live action 90s adaptation of The Three Little Pigs. I don't think you actually like her. I think you like the wolf. High time that we admit to ourselves that our nostalgia for her is actually getting in the way of our ability to judge her on her merits. We're still gonna give the Oscar to June just to watch Paloma suffer.